Most men never say these 7 compliments, but women secretly love them. Welcome to Ancient Stoic Secrets, where timeless wisdom meets the messy, unpredictable world of modern relationships. Most men believe compliments are simple. You see a woman, you say, "You're beautiful," or "You look amazing." It feels polite, safe, even romantic. But here's the hard truth. She's heard those same words 1,000 times. On social media, at the coffee shop, from men whose faces she barely remembers. So why would your words suddenly matter? They won't. Real attraction isn't born from flattery. It begins when a woman feels something deeper. A spark that strikes her mind, stirs her emotions, and makes her body react in ways she doesn't expect. And that requires a different kind of compliment. Not one that polishes her ego, not one that blends you into the crowd, but one that slips past her defenses, making her pause, lean in, and feel truly seen. This isn't about sweet talk, it's about influence. In this video, we'll explore 3 compliments most men never dare to say. Lines that don't just sound nice, but carry power. Compliments that create curiosity, tension, and unforgettable connection. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll stop being predictable and start becoming the kind of man whose presence lingers long after he's gone. Before we dive in, subscribe to Ancient Stoic Secrets and walk this path of self-mastery with us. Because in a world full of empty words, a man who speaks with intention becomes unforgettable. 1. The first compliment, beyond "You're beautiful." For most men, the first instinct is simple. You see a woman you're drawn to, and you say, "You're beautiful." It feels natural, polite, even romantic. But here's the uncomfortable truth. She's heard those same words so many times that they've lost all meaning. From strangers sliding into her DMs, from men she doesn't respect, from guys whose names she's already forgotten. It's predictable, generic, safe. And safe never stirs deep attraction. When you say you're beautiful, you're just confirming what her mirror already told her. You're not giving her a new experience, you're blending into the background noise of every other man who took the easy path. So what's the alternative? Don't just describe her beauty. Describe what her beauty does to you. Instead of saying, "You're beautiful," try this. "There's something dangerous about the way you just looked at me." Do you feel the shift? It's no longer a flat statement. It creates tension, chemistry, a private moment only the two of you share. It's not about her appearance. It's about the impact she has on you. Here's another example. "I can't decide if you're a mystery I want to solve or a storm I want to get lost in." This line isn't flattery, it's an invitation. It paints an image in her mind, sparking curiosity and emotional depth. Psychology is simple here. Women don't fall for words that tell them they're pretty. They fall when they feel felt, when they sense a man sees them in a way others are too afraid to express. So the next time you're tempted to use the same safe compliment, pause. Ask yourself, am I giving her the same line she's heard 1,000 times? Or am I showing her a side of herself she didn't even know she was revealing? The difference between forgettable and unforgettable lies in that choice. Because when your words make her stop and wonder, you stop being just another man and become the one she can't stop thinking about. 2. The compliment that connects her mind and body. Most men split their compliments into 2 shallow categories. One focuses only on the physical. "You look sexy in that dress. Those legs could stop traffic." The other goes straight to the mental. "You're so smart. You're interesting." The problem? When you only speak to one side of her, you miss the chance to create true polarity, that electric charge where desire and connection collide. A woman doesn't just want to feel desired, she also wants to feel understood. When those two experiences merge, something deeper awakens inside her. That's when attraction becomes addictive, not just a moment, but a memory she craves to relive.
So how do you do this in practice? Here's an example. You move like you know exactly what you're doing, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't thinking about it. The first part, you move like you know exactly what you're doing, speaks to her presence and confidence. It shows you see her, that you notice more than just her appearance. The second part, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't thinking about it, drops a subtle note of desire. It's not vulgar, it's not over the top. It hints at what's unspoken, leaving her mind to wander. The result? Her mind feels understood and her body feels desired at the exact same time. And that combination is magnetic. Here's another subtle but powerful line. The way you sit so still with that much confidence, it's distracting. Notice how this isn't about her looks, it's about her energy. You're telling her that her presence alone has an impact on you. That's rare, and women remember rare. Most men rush to compliment what's obvious, but the man who sees what others miss, the unspoken vibe, the quiet strength, the hidden tension, he's the one who leaves a lasting mark. Ask yourself this. When was the last time you said something that made a woman pause, her breath catching for just a second, because her mind understood what her body just felt? If you haven't, this is your chance to start. Because the right words don't just describe her, they awaken her. 3. Praise the darkness, not just the light. Most men play it safe when they compliment a woman. They stick to words that are sweet and predictable. You're so kind, you're fun to be around, you're always so positive. Safe words might earn a polite smile, but they'll never stir deep desire. Here's why. Women don't want to be seen as perfect. They want to be seen as real. And every real woman has a hidden side, a fire she's been told to tame, edges she fears are too much, a wildness she's been taught to hide so the world will accept her. Other men praise the polished version she shows on the surface. But you? You notice the storm beneath the calm. Instead of saying she's nice, you might say, "There's something dangerous about you. I can't decide if I should step closer or take a step back." In that moment, you've done something extraordinary. You didn't just notice her beauty. You acknowledged her edge, the part of her she usually keeps locked away. And when you do that, you flip a switch inside her. For years, she's been rewarded for being gentle, agreeable, easy to like. But suddenly here's a man who isn't afraid of the very parts she thought she had to hide. That's not just attractive, it's intoxicating. Here's another line. You've got the kind of energy that doesn't ask for space, it takes it. This isn't about her looks or even her personality. It's about recognizing her power and showing her you're not intimidated by it. Most men back away from strong energy. A grounded man embraces it. Why does this work? Because you're doing what 99% of men won't. You're giving her permission to be unfiltered, untamed, completely herself. You're saying, without words, "I see who you really are, and I want that part the most." And here's the key. This only works when it's real. If you fake it, she'll feel it instantly. But when you say it calmly, with presence and certainty, it lands with unforgettable impact. So here's a question for you. Have you ever dared to compliment the side of her she's afraid to reveal? Because when you do, attraction stops being polite and becomes deeply personal. 4. The compliment that speaks to what she hides. Every woman carries a secret hunger, not for flowers, chocolates, or the same recycled compliments she's heard 1,000 times, but for something deeper,
something she'd never dare to admit out loud. Maybe it's the craving to let go of control after spending her entire life being the one who holds everything together. Maybe it's the thrill of being seen for who she really is, not the perfect version she shows to the world. Whatever it is, she keeps it buried because she's been taught that some desires are too much, too wild, too risky to reveal. And this is where most men get it wrong. They stay on the surface, praising what's obvious and safe. But you go deeper. You speak to the part of her she thought no one could see. Imagine you're talking to a woman who's used to leading in her career and in her life. Every man tells her, "You're so strong," or "You're such a boss." Those words roll right off her because they don't touch the truth beneath. Now picture saying this instead. "You love being in control, but I can tell part of you secretly wants to let go." Feel the shift? You're not just observing her, you're unmasking her. Your words give her permission to acknowledge a desire she's been hiding from herself. And that's electrifying. Here's another line. "You act like you don't enjoy attention, but the way you carry yourself tells a different story." Delivered calmly, without judgment, this line doesn't call her out. It calls her deeper in. It says, "I see you, even the parts you don't admit." This works because it goes beyond flattery. Most men either put women on a pedestal or tear them down. Almost no one stands steady in the middle, looking at her with clarity and saying, "You don't have to hide from me." And when you do, she feels something rare, relief mixed with desire, because you've given her what so few men ever can, the freedom to be her full, unfiltered self. But here's the warning. This only works when it's genuine. If you try to use these words as a tactic, they fall flat. But if you speak them from a place of calm certainty, they don't just touch her mind, they leave a mark on her soul. So ask yourself this. When was the last time you said something that made her pause? Not just because it was clever, but because it was true. Because in that pause lies the beginning of a connection most men will never experience. 5. Make her feel seen, not just desired. Most men believe desire is the ultimate goal. They think if they just make a woman feel wanted, she'll stay. So they pour out compliments like, "You're so sexy," "I can't stop thinking about you," "I want you so bad." And sure, those words might earn a playful smirk or a teasing reply. But here's the truth that stings. Desire is cheap. She hears it everywhere, on social media, at the gym, even at the grocery store. Men wanting her body is nothing new, but being truly seen, that's rare, and rare has power. When you're the man who makes her feel understood, not just admired, you stand apart. You slip past the noise, past the walls she's built to protect herself. Here's an example of what that sounds like. You read people before they even speak. You carry that quietly, but it's sharp. Notice what just happened? You didn't call her beautiful. You didn't even mention her looks. Instead, you showed her you notice how she moves through the world, something most men never bother to see. Or try this one. You act like you don't need attention, but you always know when you walk into a room. Now you're pointing to the subtle patterns in her behavior, making her feel recognized on a deeper level. Why does this matter so much? Because women, especially those who are constantly desired, become numb to superficial praise. They build armor. They smile and nod, but inside, they stop believing anyone actually sees the real them. When you cut through that armor and speak to what's hidden, everything changes. She doesn't just hear your words, she feels them. It's like you've reached into a part of her that's been untouched for years. This isn't about being romantic. It's about being present. It's about proving, through your words and your attention, that you're not like every other man chasing her body. So ask yourself this. When was the last time you said something that made her pause, stop smiling, and just look at you, like you just uncovered a secret part of her she didn't think anyone noticed? Because that moment, that silence, is where true connection begins. 6. Say what no other man dares to say. Here's a truth most men run from. Women don't remember the safe man, the one who's always polite, agreeable, and predictable. He might be nice, but he's also forgettable. The man she remembers? He's the one who speaks with a level of honesty that shakes her. Not because he's rude or arrogant, but because he dares to say what others are too scared to voice. Most men tiptoe through conversations, censoring themselves in hopes of being liked. They avoid discomfort, avoid saying anything that might cause tension. And in doing so, they kill attraction before it ever has a chance to grow. But a grounded man, a stoic man, he speaks the truth with calm certainty. He isn't chasing approval, and that energy is magnetic. Imagine this moment. She flashes a perfect smile, the kind that feels just a little too polished. Most men would just compliment her and move on. But you say, "I don't trust women who smile too much. There's usually something darker behind it." Do you feel that shift? It's bold, it's provocative, and it instantly separates you from every other man who's afraid to be real. You didn't insult her, you challenged her mask, and deep down, she'll respect you for it. Here's another example. You seem like the type who pushes people away before they get too close. It's not flirty, it's not sugar-coated, it's awareness, proof that you're paying attention to more than just her surface-level charm. Why does this matter so much? Because most men hide behind politeness and empty compliments. They hope being nice will earn affection. But women don't crave nice. They crave realness, even if it stings a little.
The key is delivery. Your voice must be calm, steady, detached from outcome. You're not saying it to shock her or win her over. You're saying it because it's the truth, and you have nothing to prove. When you speak this way, something powerful happens. You stop being another man fighting for her attention, and you become the rare man who commands it. So ask yourself, have you ever said something so real that she froze, unsure whether to smile, laugh, or challenge you? If not, maybe it's time you stop walking on eggshells and start showing her the man who isn't afraid to speak the quiet truth out loud. 7. The power of scarcity. Compliment like a king. Here's a lesson most men never learn. Compliments are like currency. The more freely you hand them out, the less they're worth. Think about it. How many men tell her, "You look amazing," or "You're incredible" in a single week? Dozens, maybe hundreds online. The result? Those words become background noise, forgettable, meaningless. But you're not like most men. You don't compliment to fill silence. You compliment with intention. Like a king choosing his words carefully, knowing that a single sentence can shift the entire energy of a room. Scarcity creates value. When you hold back, when you observe first, your silence becomes powerful. And when you finally speak, your words carry weight. Picture this. You've been in a deep conversation for 20 minutes. Most guys would have already thrown 10 compliments her way, desperate to keep her engaged. But you stay calm, present, almost unreadable. Then, at just the right moment, you lean in and say, "The way your mind works, that's rare." One line, precise, intentional. And because she had to earn it, it lands with 10 times the impact of 1,000 empty praises. In that moment, you're not the admirer fighting for her attention. You're the man she wants to understand. Here's another example. There's a stillness in you most people would overlook. I like it. Simple, unexpected, And because you didn't flood her with words, that one truth echoes in her mind long after you've left. Psychology is simple here. When something is rare, it becomes valuable. When your compliments are scarce, she starts to wonder, why now? Why did he choose this moment to say that? What else does he see that he hasn't told me yet? That curiosity is addictive. It pulls her toward you, making her chase the meaning behind your silence. Most men talk endlessly, hoping to be chosen. But a grounded man? He's already chosen himself. He doesn't need to prove his worth with constant approval. He knows his presence alone is enough. So remember this. The most powerful compliment is the one she didn't see coming, the one she had to work for. When you master this, you stop being the man who blends in and become the mystery she can't stop trying to solve. Attraction isn't built on pretty words or clever lines. It's built on presence, on the way you make her feel long after you've walked away. Most men chase attention by talking more, complimenting more, doing more. But the truth? The man who speaks less and means more is the one she never forgets. Today, you've learned how to give compliments that go beyond flattery. Compliments that create tension, awaken curiosity, and reveal the woman she's been hiding from the world. But knowing is only half the battle. The real transformation happens when you practice. So here's my challenge for you. The next time you're tempted to say something safe, stop. Take a breath. And instead of throwing out empty words, choose a line that carries weight. Watch how her body language shifts. Watch how the room feels different. When you do this, you won't just be another guy trying to win her over. You'll be the man she thinks about long after you've left. If this message resonated with you, show your support. Hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Ancient Stoic Secrets and turn on notifications. Because every week we go deeper into what it truly means to be a man of presence, power, and purpose. Join this brotherhood of men who refuse to live on autopilot. Men who build relationships, careers, and lives with intention. Remember, words fade, but the way you show up stays forever. Be the man whose silence speaks louder than the crowd. And as always, stay grounded, stay bold, and I'll see you in the next video.